What's going on, guys? Today I finally have my full review of the One More Stylish truly wireless earbuds. I've had these for a while. I'm not going to go through the unboxing process because I've already made a video on that. So if you want to watch that video, I'll either put it either up here or the link will be in the description if you want to check that out. I will go over a little bit of the specs real quick first, just kind of so you know what's going on without having to go to the other video. These have Bluetooth 5.0, aptX, and AAC codec support, but 24-hour total battery life, at least that's what advertised on the box. They have a music playtime and talk time of 6.5 hours at 50% volume. We'll get into more of that later. The rest of the stuff is pretty much what you would expect. Wireless range is 10 meters, so roughly about 30 feet, 33 I think. The case battery capacity is 410 milliamp hours, and then the single headphone battery capacity is 55. But that's basically what you see on the box. So once you get it out of the box, and these are actually a little bit more beat up than I thought they would be, but you have your case. And if you've used the Galaxy Buds, this case is quite a bit thicker, just so you know. I will take that though for the improved battery life, to be completely honest with you. The one thing that I don't like, and I mentioned this in my review, or not my review, my unboxing, is they do charge off a micro USB. You might not care. To me, if I'm gonna be spending $100 on some headphones, I kinda want USB-C on them. For you, it may not be that much of a difference. I'm really just pointing it out. Outside of that, it's fairly standard case. The one thing I kind of like about it and kind of don't like at the same time is to open it, you got this little button. I like it because I know that it's not just gonna flop open. I don't like it just because sometimes it's kind of a pain in the butt to press the button. I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid. That could be it too. But once you get them opened up, you have both your earbuds sitting in there. Mostly, I mean, a lot of companies will do this differently, but for the most part, it's basically the same. I mean, you got your truly wireless earbuds in there, and they're held in with magnets, and the magnet is decently strong. I'm not gonna shake it crazy because, yeah, they'll come out. But it's strong enough to where they're not just gonna pop out on you. And they fit in there fairly snug too, which is kind of nice. So once you take these out, they will automatically start to pair, so you'll go through the standard pairing process with your phone. I do want to say that you will pair the left one first, and then they'll pair together, if that makes sense. Outside of that, I mean, it's fairly simple. You got your little ear hook here. These keep them in your ears, and they stay in your ears very, very comfortably. I really like the comfort on these. Some of these earbuds can really wear on my ears after time, and these, they just don't. I have absolutely no problems at all wearing them for hours and hours at a time, and I have absolutely no ear fatigue as far as pain or anything like that goes. So that they definitely, I really like the way these guys fit in the ear. Outside of that, you're really only going to see one button, and it's on both of them. It's right here in the back. You may or may not be able to see that very well, but it's just a single button back there. Some people don't like the buttons and they would rather prefer touch controls. If that is you, sorry, but these ain't got touch controls. It's just the button. I personally like the button better than the touch controls, and the button basically controls what you needed to control: play, pause, answering phone calls, things like that. And it is also the power/pairing button, so it has multiple uses as far as that goes. The one thing that I do wish that it had is volume controls. That is nice to have, to where I don't have to, and it's first world problem, but whatever. But then I don't have to reach in my pocket and turn my phone up and down manually. I can do it right from the earbuds. That would be nice to have, to be honest. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it would be something nice to have. I will say that these come with a few different ear tips, and then they come with a few different ear hooks. So you should be able to find one that fits you fairly well. I want to say that these are the ones that they come shipped with. They fit my ear fairly well. I really haven't had any issues with their seal or anything else against my ear. I do want to show you what they look like while they're in your ears. just so you have a little bit of an idea. They do stick out a little bit more than a lot of different earbuds out there. And for me, I'm perfectly fine with it, just because generally that's going to mean you have a little bit more battery. And I will deal with a little bit bigger earbud if I can listen to them a little bit longer. 6.5 hours. Honestly, if you're not going to throw them back in your case when you take them out, I mean, this would last you pretty much almost a full day's work. I was getting about 7 hours, maybe a tad longer than that, and I was generally listening. Well, I will say I was usually listening right around 50 to 60% because I would wear these at work, so I would want to keep them a little bit lower. Speaking of wearing these at work, this isn't me, but I know some of you guys like to listen to one at a time, and you can do that with either one of these. Just know that if you have them both in at the same time and you decide to take one out and put it in the case, the one that you leave in your ear, whether it's the right or the left, really doesn't matter. The one that you leave in your ear will disconnect from your phone for a second, and then it'll reconnect. I think it's probably just once it realizes that it's by itself and it doesn't have its brother anymore. And then once you decide that you want to put the second one back in, you take it out, and there's actually no interruption in your music or whatever you're listening to. You take it out, it recognizes its brother, and pairs right back up, and there's no interruption in whatever you're listening to. It's a really seamless process, and I really like that. That worked out really well. Now that I have covered just about everything that doesn't have to do with audio quality, you know what? One more thing about the case. Now that I'm thinking about it, it does not support wireless charging, which for me, once again, is not a deal breaker, just a little bit of a bummer. It's more of a, just so you know type of deal. Getting to the audio quality, my favorite part of testing any headphone. And I will say without a doubt, these are great. They're not perfect, but honestly, they are about in line what I would expect to pay for about $150 headphone, maybe two. Any higher than that, I would think they were too expensive. So at $100, which is what these usually are, I have seen them go on sale for quite often. Actually, I've seen them go on sale quite a bit, and you can usually snag these for $80, somewhere around there. If you get them any low, if you see them for any lower than $80, don't even listen to my sound quality review. Just stop this video and buy them right now, because they are worth it. If you're not seeing a sale on these for less than $80. Sound quality wise, like I said, these are fantastic for the price, most definitely. The bass is very solid, and it's not too loose. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does, but it's not too loose. It's nice, and it's punchy, and it's tight, and it's solid. If I'm putting a number on it, I would say bass is probably 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. So it's great. Could be a little bit better, but I don't have any real complaints with it. The mids they're about on par with the bass, to be honest with you. Everything was very separated, and I didn't really hear a whole lot of runoff between the bass and the mids. Even on really bass heavy songs, the ones that were recorded correctly anyways, there are some out there that it's the song that's the problem and not your earphones. Just throwing that out there. But I would give honestly the same score to the mids that I give to the bass, so we're sitting at about another 8.5. So 8.5 out of 10 on the mids. Very clear, very precise, and very separate. The highs they're not bad. They're very, very good, but they aren't quite on the level, I feel, as the bass and the mids are. The bass and the mids to me are better in here than the highs are. The highs can use a little bit of work, and it's really just making them a little bit brighter. If they get too much, they're going to become piercing, and I don't think anybody likes that. But just a little bit brighter on the highs, I think would be absolutely perfect, and these would sound even 2 or 3 times better than what they already do, which in all honesty is still pretty damn good anyways. So if you need earbuds to have more high end than low end, these probably won't be for you. Now, if you do like a tad bit more low end and mids, more than you do highs, which honestly is my preference. I absolutely love these, and I highly recommend these if you're looking for some truly wireless earbuds. The only thing that I really wish they would change is the charging port and back. If it was USB-C as opposed to micro USB, for me at least, it would be a lot nicer. And if they could add wireless charging in while keeping everything else, that would be awesome too. Now, that said, I wouldn't want them to sacrifice, say, battery life for wireless charging if it's not something that is really feasible to do at the $100 price point, because I think this is a fantastic price point for them. And honestly, I think that they could probably charge more for them and they would be just fine. 150 bucks I think would be fine, to be honest with you. That about does it, guys. One more stylish, truly wireless earbuds. These are definitely a go. I recommend, if you have the $100 and you're looking for a pair of truly wireless headphones, pick them up. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I will see you again in the next one. I'm out.